So hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Test Drive Thursday. Today is episode 75, and that means 30 weeks ago was the first week of sort of the new and improved Test Drive Thursday, after I had a not so great episode before. Let's not get into that, but yeah. And what I did on that first episode, episode 45, back in March, was review the RJL Scania. Now, as I said, it's been 30 weeks, so why not go back and see what RJL has added. So, I'll meet you, once again, in the upgrade shop. So since March there has been some improvements to the game, and the RJL mod has had, RJL has had to obviously adapt to that. So first of all, the most noticeable one is the new steering wheels. So when you go to customize the interior, you now get the option to change the style of the wheel independent to the actual cabin. And another thing that is added is some new interiors since that time, I believe, because you can now have a different range of sort of the older styles if you're going for an older looking truck, or you can still go for the mental custom Dracula theme, which is pretty cool. Another thing that I believe is added is some new gearboxes. As you can see, there's loads of choices now, all with different gear ratios that's suited to your requirements. So now onto the options. So again, there's loads and loads to choose from. You still got all your normal down here. You can still chuck those on if you so wish. But some newer things, I don't think he's added lots and lots down here. But just scrolling through, these are new. So you can change the style of the sort of blinkers or indicators, as they're called here. You can go for this sort of more older one, or the brand new LED version that comes from the Streamline. Apart from that, it's pretty basic stuff back here. I believe he's added some new mud flaps and some new designs for the rear end here. So you can see I'm scrolling through them. That's my favourite here. Yeah, just some new chassis options. They're called battery mounts. You can change the colour of the fifth wheel. It's just some tiny things like that I've really polished off the customization experience in this game. This is the target for mods. I've said it before, it really is great. I mean, this is new as well. You can change the style of the side compartment. So either go with the 4 or 5 series or the 5 or 6. Now this is a 6 series grill with the older style intakes here. You could go with the Streamline here, something like that. But I find the R-Chrome here, or the older style, looks a bit more aggressive, a bit more classy, let's say. But apart from that, not much else has been added, because you can't really improve. Well, you can improve on perfection, but not by much. I mean, it's great what he's done. I mean, just the detail of the stuff he's added, the quality is great. Now, I won't do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec, because it already is. So we'll jump straight into driving and talking about Scania. Okay then, so we're outside. We've got the Scania now, as you can see, looking as good as ever. I do love the orange metallic paint on this. It is a sort of defined paint, so you can get the exact same shade as me. And another thing to note, this week I am running HDR on, because usually I have it off for usually better FPS, and also I like to see a contrast between Euro Truck and ATS, and it sort of helps that. But I thought I'd turn HDR on this week to see what it's like, and to see if you guys like it. I also use it for the time lapse this week as well, so please do tell me your thoughts on it. But another thing that I've got installed is this, the new and improved dashboard mod. I'm not sure the exact name of it, but it'll be in my mod spreadsheet if I remember to put it on there. But if you remember back to the usual standard Scania dashboards, they're a bit basic and they're not super realistic. But this one, just look at this. Top left, you've got your gearing. Top right, you've got the time. Down the bottom left, I'm not too sure what it is. I believe that's rest time as well. And it also tells you how long till rest. Now that isn't accurate, it's just a static sort of number on there. If we just click, so yeah, there you go. And then you got the temperature, and you have got your odometer. So I have done 550 miles on this, as I did use it for the time lapse early in this week, and just some of the shots around here just. But if we scroll through, obviously you got the Scania logo there. That doesn't really do anything. It's just all realistic there. This is, if we just start it up, so this here is so you got your cruise control on the right, I believe, I think that's hill descent on the right, and then you've got your accurate miles per hour there, because usually with these mods the miles per hour isn't actually miles an hour, it's kilometers, even though it says miles an hour. But yeah, that is accurate, and I've tested that, which is really good. So just keep it rolling around the car park. There's all your temperature gauges and oil temperatures, etc. Super realistic. Another little nice little feature there, you've got, I believe that is adaptive cruise control at the bottom there. You see it changes that border, so now it is sort of distance to the car in front, which is nice. And then you've got eco and a load of other stuff on there. And then up here you've got your just rev it a second, you see you've got your current and average litres per 100 mile and litres an hour, which is nice. I do like having that one. And then you're back to the start, which is really good. I do like having it on this one. You've also got distance to empty and litres to empty and all that cool stuff. And the rest of it is a normal dash. The interior, I do like this beige interior. I think it's one of the best done ones. Everything's high textured, everything looks realistic, and everything looks super nice. But enough about that, let's go and pick up the trailer that I have got us today. Now it does match super nicely to this truck, so it'll make for some cool photo and video. But yeah, that V8 sound, this is the 580 brake Euro 6 V8. Super silky smooth. I do love this engine. It's not too bad on fuel either. As you see, I'm averaging 60 litres every 100 mile. With me driving and the fact that I've been driving around towns mainly, it's not bad at all. Mirrors, they're nice and large as usual, and you've also got the zoom feature now, which is great. Look at that, all matching up with the orange. And then we've got, I'm not too sure what it's called, the Libra TL432. Is that a telehandler? Is that what you call it? But yeah, looks pretty good, doesn't it? If you turn the lights off, it reduces that glare from the lights at the back. But yeah, that looks pretty awesome. So let's jump back aboard and start going. Before we do, let's take a look at the map. Alright, here we go. So we got to go along here, around here, on the Euro tunnel. Let's go this way. It's going to be quicker. And yeah, that's going to be our route today. Back into the UK, as this truck is right-hand drive. Right, so 8 tons. Only a little task for this truck. Really is this 580 brake engine. It just shows if you're on a budget or you can't afford a 730, this is a great option. To be honest, I hardly ever go for the 730. I mean, this engine just gives you everything you want, and sometimes with the 730 I think it's a bit overpowered. It's only when you're taking super heavy, oversized trailers, that it really comes into its own. But how often do you do that? So I think this is a really good compromise. Cheaper. I think it's better on fuel, not too sure. And yeah, it sounds as good, and it drives just as silky and smooth, and it feels like a lot more realistic power delivery for a truck. Right, is he going to let me go? Thank you, Mr. Van. But yeah, I've talked about the history of Scania lots of times before, so what I want to do is sort of talk about the future of Scania and the new Scania, new generation Scania has arrived. I believe, I'm not too sure if they're actually calling it the 7 series. It'd be the right thing to call it, as this is the predecessor, the 6 series. But yeah, I'm not too sure on that front. Let's turn on here. I love that feature. The ability to zoom in like that. It is sort of off-putting, as you saw there, almost verged into a Qashqai. But yeah, it's all good. I mean, I love doing it. It's such a useful feature. I have got to get used to it because I've been playing this game for over 3 years without it, so I've sort of learned to work around it. But yeah, it's nice to be there. But anyway, the new generation Scania, let's get through here. Let's go. I mean, the power, it's so usable, this engine range. You can really feel it between 1500 and 2000 RPM. Just the way it takes off, and then it sits and cruises in the eco zone in 12th. From about 45 miles an hour up to about 65 or so, which is great. It just really is a cruiser, this thing. And it's the thing I like about Scania. They just cruise. There's no messing about. And when you put your foot down like this, they really move, and they feel great to drive. It's such a great hybrid. I mean, the Volvo, that's all about comfort and quietness, and fuel efficiency. This is more about the drive, if you see what I mean. It's a lot more involving than the Volvo, let's say. It's got a lot more character. Anyway, the new generation Scania, we actually got onto it. So it got shown to the public on August 29th. And I watched the live stream for the new generation Scania. It was pretty bad live stream, to be honest. We hardly learned anything about the truck, more about post this on social media. Hashtag NextGen Scania or something like that. It was an awful live stream. If any of you guys watched it, you'd know what I'm on about. But yeah, it's one of the worst sort of press releases I've watched recently, and I have been watching quite a few with like the Apple one, the GoPro one, the Land Rover one with the new Discovery. That wasn't great, but it was better than the Scania one, 100%. Actually learned something about the Discovery. But yeah, so they've released a new series. It's called the S series. Again, that goes up to the 730 engine. Honestly, I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I thought it was a bit of a boring design. I thought it looked boxy. I didn't think it looked as classic and nice to look at, aesthetically pleasing. Big word. Yeah, I don't think we're too far away from Calais now. I mean, most of the time I'm now driving right-hand drive trucks in Europe, and it feels, I don't know, it feels quite normal now, and it does feel kind of weird. Not as weird as it first was, but it feels a lot more normal driving left-hand drive. But I just feel at home driving right-hand drive trucks. It's not really that much of a nuisance. I don't find, but I can really adapt quite quickly thanks to the help of this game. And it just feels natural driving on this side of the road. I mean, I don't know, I'm not affected by it, and I can quickly switch to drive on the left if I need to. I mean, the sounds on this mod as well are absolutely superb. I mean, even down to the sort of the retarder, you can see that by the gear. I'd really recommend this dashboard mod. It really is great. Edging forward there, let's put the parking brake on. But yeah, I find the new Scania interior a lot better than this. To be honest, I'm not a massive fan of this interior. I think it looks pretty plasticky, this bit here, and pretty blocky, and a bit dated. So I've never really been a massive fan of Scania interiors. I've always liked the steering wheel, and I've always liked the dashboard. I find it's really easy to read, but I've never been a fan of the interiors until this next gen. I find the wheel is being improved. It looks a lot more aggressive, a lot more sporty, and it looks a lot more premium as well with the materials they've used. The seats, they're pretty much the same off memory, but the whole dashboard is pretty much different, and it looks a lot more updated and a lot more of a nicer place to be honest. I'd still say it's nowhere near as nice as a Volvo's, but it's not far off. It is pretty nice, but depends what you want to go for. I just think the Volvo is a bit more refined than the Scania, but the Scania is, as I said, a lot better to drive and a lot more smoother in its power delivery, if you see what I mean. That retarder's so loud. Crunched the gearbox by mistake. I don't know why I had my indicator on then. Alright, let's go. It's sunset in the autumn mod. What's the time? Is it sunset? It's 7:10 PM. And also, you see how on the dash the fuel has gone red now? That's a really nice visual feature. Really sort of pops off the green, so it's easy to see. It would be good if there was some way that modders could sort of implement like a chime or ding when you were low on fuel. That would be really useful, because relying on just constantly looking down, I've missed it sometimes. But yeah, I really do recommend you getting this dashboard mod. It really is really nice. And the RJL overall, put in the comments down below what you think the best mod is, because for me it's definitely this one. It really is. Now I'm not too sure on what version this mod is on, but I don't know how he keeps thinking of stuff to add. I mean, even down to the little door, like not vents, but door sort of cupboards there on the side that I've shown you that he's added. They're all super nice, and I wouldn't have even thought to add that. Some other things that I'd like to see is more customization on the interior, maybe. I'm thinking more sort of custom interiors, more light bars. But other than that, there is really not much else that he can add. I really am impressed by it, as most people are. Right then, so here we are at Calais Port. Now, if you go for the lower bumper like me, you have really got to be careful coming down here, so you got to go quite a slow speed. Obviously you will whack the front. I mean, if you just slow down here, you can see that if we just get out, hang on, let's just slow this down. Speed 1, go back to the truck. I mean, if we go around here, go down a bit, you can see how that is almost touching. It is so close, this thing, to the ground if you go for the lower bumper. So if you go into quarries and stuff where you have to tackle bigger things than that, I would not recommend the lower bumper, but it looks pretty nice, so there is that. I think we did just scrape it a little bit then. But yeah, the power up here, look at it. The torque from this engine, it's not too far off the 730. Not much in it at all. But yeah, let's straighten up and get over to Dover. And then here we are. Love that audio. I mean, you've got the lights down there, you can see it moving, all animated, which is nice. I do like the green dash, more backlighting. I do like it red though. The green, if you're going for a green paint skin, it is super tasty. And with this dashboard mod, it sort of matches the green on there. Which I mean, just look at it now. Super easy to read. Remember, gotta go slow over here. Oh dear. Crunching the gears and everything. Right. Gotta watch out for that sign. Drive on the left. In 6th gear, 8 tons. It really does pull up here. I mean, most trucks struggle in trying to pull away on here, but I'm just leaving it in 6th. No worries at all. I mean, just look at that go. It just proves you don't need the 730 with this thing. Perfectly fine. And just cruises. I love it. I do love the Scanias, and this mod, as I said, is probably the best. Right, we're not too far away now. These mirrors are quite large, so they're quite easy to reverse with. Slow down a bit here. I like the indicator sounds as well. Those are a new thing that have been added in this mod rather recently, I think. They're a lot more realistic to the Scania ones than the stock ones in the game. So there is that. Almost like stop-start that when you let it stall. I do like doing that sometimes, even though I just keep telling myself it's stop-start, not I'm stalling. Come on, power! I can't stop this. I can't stop this. Too heavy. Oh dear. Right then, come on, lights change. Gotta see if we have a look at the average fuel now. I've got it down to 58.7, and as I've shown you, I haven't yeah, I agree with that. I've gone over a bit, but it's not. As I said, I haven't been driving super economically. I haven't been keeping to the red zone, and some of the green zone, the eco zone. But I bet if you were, you could get that down to at least 55. Probably even 50 if you were really careful, but anything under 60 for me that I've found so far in this game is pretty good. Right then, we are almost here. We really are. Right, here we go. Let's turn in. Crunching the gears again. I mean, just look at the backlighting. Look how it illuminates. And a very traditional Scania front as well. I'm not too sure what that red box is. That looks a little bit broken. I believe they're meant to be logs. Yeah, that's very broken. The way it glows though, it's so funny. Right, let's reverse this thing in. 2 reverse gears in this transmission. concentrate mode. I think I'm a bit over. Right, let's just put it forward now. There we go. Brake on, engine off, lights off. Ooh! That's all kind of wrong. Look at the way it's reflecting on everything. That is so funny. Look at that. Looks almost chrome. The metallic, the effect that it creates, great. Yeah, let's get back in. That does look pretty funny. So I hope you enjoyed this Test Drive Thursday episode. If you did, please do click that like and why not subscribe for a lot more videos like it. And as I said, if you want to download either this mod, the RJL, or the dashboard mod, I'll try and remember to put it in my mod spreadsheet, and the link to my mod spreadsheet is in the description below. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you got this far, please do click the like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you very soon. Thanks guys.